everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing something a little bit different. So I've seen a few YouTubers that have done this, so I thought why not do a take on it myself. It's ranking my college classes, but Texas A&M edition, because I obviously go to Texas A&M, if you didn't know. I made a little tier maker and I'm gonna sit here and rank my college classes and tell you guys about it. How I did my tier list was satisfactory, A, B, C, D, and F. S as in like the best of the best, like highly recommend. If this is your first video that you're watching from me, I am a junior chemical engineering major at Texas A&M, obviously. So let's get on to ranking my classes. So first off, we have Engineering 102. That's the first engineering class that you take as a college freshman. That is a coding class. They taught me very basic level Python, and I do not like my laptop one bit. Like, my laptop overheated so quickly and like it just could not take the code even though like I had nothing open on it. I wish I had my Alienware. My Alienware could take a code, whereas like my other laptop, my old laptop, it could not take a code like whatsoever. Moral of the story is if you want a code, get an Alienware. It will support everything that you want to do. So Engineering 102, I really didn't like the class. Coding's just not for me. And I didn't really enjoy my professor, so I'm gonna put that at a D. Chem 107. I'm a chemie, obviously. I really liked it. I liked my professor. I'm gonna give it an A. Chem 102. One of my favorite classes of all time that I've taken so far, just because I really enjoyed the professor. One, if you guys are wondering, I had Dr. Collins, and if you guys watch a few of my videos, I've talked about him a few times on my channel, and I really liked his class. I loved the way he taught. Like, I think he's like one of my favorite professors. Chem 102 was an S. Oh, I should probably tell you guys like the names of it. So like Chem 107 was like the engineering chem, so every engineer at A&M is required to take like one chem class, whereas I'm a chemie, so I had to take multiple chem classes. So Chem 107 is just chemistry for engineers. Chem 102 is Chem 2, but like for like science majors. Soc 314, that was social problems. I liked the class. It was really interesting. It was an interesting class. I will give it a B. It was okay, not too bad. Chem 117, that is the chem lab for Chem 107. And the thing is, I don't know if this is like for every school, but at A&M at least, labs are literally worth no credits. One, how long the hours are and how much work goes into labs. Like just labs in general, like all my chem labs or science labs, like it's like 1 hour credit and it's like a 3-hour lab period. The workload is so much for just that 1 credit hour. Chem 117, I don't remember like it being bad or anything. I'm gonna just give it a B. I don't remember it being bad or anything. Math 151, that is Calc 1 for engineers. I had a pretty good professor and it wasn't too hard just because I had taken Calc 1 in high school already. I was retaking it just because A&M doesn't like you taking your AP Calc credits unless you have like a 5, but even if you got a 5, like they highly recommend you retake the class just for like a better foundation if you're an engineer. I'm gonna give it a B. Chem 112. Chem 112 was the lab for Chem 102. Somehow, magically, I got an A that lab, just because labs are so hard to get an A in. So I'm gonna give it an A, just because labs are just so hard to get an A in personally, because they curve down. So even if like your average is like an A the whole semester, you can still end up with a B. Engineering 216 is the second engineering class that you take, so it wasn't bad. I had a pretty good prof, so I'm gonna give it a B. Math 152, that is Calc 2, one of the hardest math classes you'll ever take at A&M. Especially your freshman year, it's a lot of weed out classes, and 152 is literally like a weed out class. Like, I'm gonna give it, I'm torn between a C or a D. Let's give it a D. Perf 301, I took that as my creative arts credit. Loved it, super easy, highly recommend. I'm gonna give it an S. Physics 206, that's Physics 1 for engineers. Before I even explain, I'm giving it an F. I'm giving it an F because I just cannot. If you're at A&M, there's like 2 versions of physics you can take. Half the professors teaches Don't Panic, the other half teaches university physics. I got stuck into university physics. Chem 227, that is OChem 1. And I'm gonna give it a C. Just because my professor is super nice professor. He didn't teach everything that we needed to know. Like, he just straight up like talked. He was trying to teach us, but it wasn't what was needed for the exam. Like, we had to strictly learn by ourselves. Chem 237, that is OChem Lab 1. OChem Lab 1 was like nothing too special. I don't really like Chem Labs a lot just because they're so long, and actually, I'm gonna give it a B because I gave 227 a C, so I'm gonna give this a B just because I think OChem labs are a lot better than like Gen Chem labs. Chem 204, that's my first Chem class after getting into my major, and unfortunately for me, it was an 8 a.m. I didn't put as much effort as I should have in that class just because I was also taking OChem, and it was just, OChem has a lot of memorization, so I really neglected this class, which was my fault when I shouldn't have neglected it. But I'm gonna give Chem 204 a C. Engineering 217, that is the third engineering class that you take, and that is basically like engineering 217 slash physics 217. So this is when you're in the nitty-gritties with physics. It wasn't a bad class. Lab is a lot more doable than the actual class itself. Let's give it a B. Health 236, that was a health class. I took a core curriculum and a GPA booster. I'm gonna give it an A. Math 251, that is Calc 3, and Calc 3 was a lot better than Calc 2 for me. But granted, my professor was like okay. Like, I didn't really learn much out of his like lectures. Like, I had to like print other professors' lectures and like copy their lectures to be able to understand like what was going on, because I could not understand my professor's lectures. But overall, I had a more pleasant experience than I did in Calc 2. So I'm going to give it a B. Chem 228, that is OChem 2, which is in the middle of COVID. So it was really interesting going from like paper exams to online exams just because you take OChems. There's a lot of mechanisms. I'm still gonna give it a B just because it's OChem, and OChem is just a pain in the booty. Chem 238, that is OChem Lab 2. I don't know if I enjoyed this lab more than OChem 1 lab. They're probably equal. Let's just give it a B. Just because I'm not too big of a fan of OChem labs. And so 320, that's Honeybee Biology. I needed a science elective. I really did enjoy learning about honeybees, but it was still an easy class. I like get so scared, and I have like that circle phobia. It was really hard looking at like bee photos all the time. Like, I just think about it like triggered my phobia. It was still a fairly easy class. Highly recommend if you need a easy science elective. So I'm gonna give it an S. Math 308, that's Diffie Q. I enjoyed so much. Like, I thought it was on like the easier side over Calc 2. I was able to like connect it to what I was learning in Chem 204, so it was really cool. So I'm gonna give it an S just because I really liked my professor. I really enjoyed the class. Post 207, that's the second government. Gave me a different perspective of everything just because I'm taking so many science classes that just like sliding in a polls class just like really like kept my mind thinking, especially because like it's election season coming up. So I'm going to give it an S. And last but not least, English 210, that is my technical writing class that I need to take for an engineer. So I'll give it an S. That's me ranking all my college courses. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video and like seeing my input on the classes and helped you out. If you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye guys.